let's go way, way back. When did you first know you wanted to be a race car driver?
Well, I don't really come from a racing family or from a family with money or really anything like that. And racing can be expensive, and it can be also very driven by knowing what to do and what not to do. And I didn't have any of this. So I grew up with a very regular average family. My father had, and actually still has, a restoration shop. He restores classic cars,
Nice.
for shows and stuff like that. So that's pretty much where I start to get attached to cars. Since a very young age, I started getting attached to cars because going to a shop with my father and liking, old cars and fixing cars and getting dirty and I started getting some attraction to engines and eventually I wanted those engines to go fast and be more noisy and stuff like that. And it's crazy how life happened, because I didn't have racing in my radar at all. Until one of my father's customer son was into racing. It was racing go-karts. He's only a couple years older than me, and he was racing go-karts. And one day he invited me to go, watch him, and then eventually that watch, look at him on Suarez ended up being in there, turn a few laps and then more and more, and that's pretty much how everything started. I started without knowing anything, and I start to get so much passion about it. I've been extremely competitive since I can remember, and I started really putting more hours and more hours, and I really fell in love with competition. How difficult it was to be successful in racing, and in my career, I've been very fortunate in many ways, but I've been very unfortunate in many ways as well. And early in my career, I didn't have the money to get the best go-kart or the best mechanics or the best tires and stuff like that. So I had to race with less most of my career, and that made me, push harder and be extremely competitive. And it was a lot of fun. I feel like that made me who I am today. But yeah,
Nice.
that's pretty much a little bit of how I grew up back in the early 2000s. Man, it's been a while. I was only 11 years old.
Nice.
It was probably in 2003 or so when I started racing.